The human brain doesn't fully develop until around the age of 25. This means that most of the time the brain is spent developing is in a person's childhood and early teen years. This has led me to my research question: how does the environment of a child grows up and affect their juvenile development and adult life? So when a child is growing up, they have three main environments that impact their development. That is the economic, political, and social environments. First, I will be going through the economic environment and how that affects the child's development and adult life. So in Richard Blanco's Looking Through the Gulf Motel, he stated, "All because we can't afford to eat out, not even on vacation, only 2 hours away from our home in Miami, but far enough away to be thrilled by wider sands on the west coast of Florida." So this shows that even though he didn't have the most luxurious vacation because his family couldn't afford it, that vacation in that motel where he couldn't even afford to eat out still had a huge impact on him into his adult life as he still visits there today. So $500,000. This is the amount that famous actress Lori Loughlin paid to get her daughters into college. She had paid proctors to let the daughters cheat, college admissions officers, and coaches of sports that the girls did not even play. So what's the argument? So some may say that no matter one's financial background, they can overcome anything, but that is not the case. For example, in the University of Southern California, where Lori Loughlin had sent her daughters to college, it is approximately $50,210 a year. After financial aid, it becomes $29,000 a year. Though after living expenses and other things, how can one coming from a poor background still afford this? And that is if they even do get financial aid. So the solution and limitations. So the solution is bettering the schools in low-income neighborhoods with the financial help from the government. This would be providing better technologies, such as computers and iPads and things like that, to the school. And then the limitation, though, is there are many low-income neighborhoods in America, and financially that would be very hard for the government to do. So this brings us into our political environment and how that affects a child. So foster care children are one group of people who are affected by the political environment in the government, as they rely on the government for the environment they grow up in because the government places them into homes. So the foster care system oftentimes leaves negative impacts when foster care children are entering adulthood, as they feel alone and that they have no one to talk to. So the solution to this is that the government should provide counselors for foster care children throughout their childhood and in their adult life, so they feel as if they have someone they can talk to if they feel as if they don't have a family. But as many people, especially children, these foster care children may feel hesitant and embarrassed to go to a counselor as a child and in their adult life. So special needs children are also another group of people who are affected by the political environment they grow up in, as special needs children depend upon the government and the ways their education system runs. So special needs children, experts claim that putting special needs children into classrooms with non-special needs children will better the social life and ability to succeed for a special needs child. So special needs children need to be moved into classrooms with non-special needs children. Things like social skills and work ethics would be improved by this. This is just things like doing classroom activities with other students and walking through the hallways with other students. Though the special needs children may have issues such as they aren't able to keep up in class sometimes, and also more teachers would have to be trained and have a degree on how to work with special needs children other than just having the degree that they have in the subject that they teach. So then we have the social environment and how that affects a child. So societies and social media's effect. Society and the media have a huge impact on a child's development. Society inputs ideas into children's heads that follow them throughout their adult life. So in Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail, he states, "When you have to concoct an answer for a 5-year-old son who is asking, 'Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean?'" So this was during a time of segregation in America when society was showing the mistreatment of blacks in America, and this child had seen through society that people of his kind weren't really accepted. So it inputted this idea into his head that would follow them throughout his lifetime, that all white people treat colored people bad. So in this graph, we have how does social media affect children, and the 4 main social media apps are Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. And the red shows the negative effects, and the blue shows the positive effects. So things like bullying, body image, anxiety, depression, and loneliness are negatively affected by social media, while things like community building, emotional support, self-identity, and self-expression are positively affected. So social media does have its positive and negative effects. So minorities. So most of my perspectives that I mentioned before are minorities. Richard Blanco being an immigrant and a gay man in America, and as well as Martin Luther King and his son being black, and then special needs children. So Carl E. Pickard is a psychologist who has his BA from Harvard, infers that with the mistreatment of a person of a minority at an early age can lead to mental issues and self-rejection, with mental issues that could follow them throughout their lifetime. So the solution is providing safe spaces in classroom so kids can feel as if they have someone to talk to and can express who they really are. In the classroom we are in right now, it is a safe space, and it is indicated by the safe space sticker on the outside of the classroom door. But kids may feel afraid to go to a teacher as if they may feel as they are going to be made fun of by other students who aren't accepting of them. So change. The overall solution and the only solution is change. Change has to occur by society by making safe and better environments for children so their development and adult life is positively affected. People will not change their ways though if they feel as if they are doing right, especially parents who, if they feel they are raising their child the right way, even though they may possibly be not shown by evidence, they will not change their way if they feel that is best for their child.
Okay, a couple questions for you, Jessica. The first one is, how did you select the strategies you used to gather information or conduct research, and were they effective?
So I wanted to make sure that all of my evidence was credible. So I checked the dates and the authors, and I got background on the authors, such as Carl E. Pickard. I would have not used the article if I didn't get the background from him that he had his BA in psychology from Harvard. And I do feel as if they were effective, as they also led me to other sources that weren't credible that I couldn't use that I otherwise would have used.
Good. And then your second one is explain the level of certainty that you have about your conclusion, solution, or recommendation.
I feel like all of my solutions going through each environment are very effective, but it is if people will let them happen. Like I said in the presentation, people aren't going to change their ways if they feel that they are right, no matter what people say.